Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic and let me introduce to you Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. So this game, it is developed by Team Ninja and Koyo Tecmo, and it is using their in-house technology, again revamped compared to the second game. Well, what can I say about its performance? Just like Ninja Gaiden 1 and Ninja Gaiden 2, it is exactly the same story all over again. I'm running the game at 4K, and as you can see, the game just runs at 60 frames per second, no drops whatsoever. This game enforces VSync, but even if you disable VSync, the game will maintain its cap to 60. So even if you have a screen with more than 60 Hz, the game will be always capped to 60 frames per second. The interesting part is that this game is a DX9 game when the predecessors were using DirectX 11, but that's just one thing that I've noticed. So also, just like the predecessor games that we did try, there is no graphical settings inside the game, there is no PC specific settings, and now more confirmed than ever, I think that keyboard and mouse, it doesn't work on this game, so you will need to have a gamepad in order to enjoy this experience. I'm using an Xbox One gamepad, which is my kind of trusty gamepad that I have, and even so I have issues with it, but not on this game. Alright, the game I have no issues whatsoever with the gamepad, everything just works fine, there is no crashes, no glitches, the game is well optimized for what it offers. Alright, but again, no PC specific settings. You can choose resolution, VSync, motion blur, or depth of field, or shadows. You can't tweak anything because there is no graphical options in this game, and same as gone with the second game and the first game too. So how the hell I know that I'm playing at 4K? The game just uses the resolution that you have on Windows. So if your Windows it is running at 4K, the game will also render at 4K. If your screen it is 1080p, your game will render at 1080p. If your screen it is 1440p, well, in that case I have no idea if the game defaults to 1080p or if it is just using 1440p. I seriously don't know. What I do know is that, like the second game and like the first one, you can go to the Steam, go to the properties of the game, and through the launch properties inside Steam, you can select either 720p, 1080p, and 4K. It is explained on the source page of the game, which is a shame. They could create a launcher or something, or an option in game to change this, but I think a launcher would serve its purpose. Alright, but needing for you to change the launch properties on Steam for this specific game, it makes absolutely no sense. Alright, this is super lazy. This is something that I said before. I think you are tired of listening to this, but it's the same story. Alright, the good thing is that it runs at 4K 60 frames per second. The GTX 1650 Super doesn't even sweat doing that, so it's fine. Alright, but now let's talk a little bit about the game, and this is, I believe it is kind of the worst part. So this game, it feels different. Alright, it feels like it doesn't belong to the same universe. Well, it does, but it seems more focused into the action and some kitty. So it seems to be more focused into the generations of today that want more adrenaline and stuff going on than the type of classic gameplay that you get from the first game, for example, from the Ninja Gaiden Sigma one. And I'm checking the scores of the game and some of the reviews, and people have been having some mixed bags about this third game. I mean, this is not the original third game. The original third game, it was a disaster. It had one of the worst reviews ever, with tons of complaints. And so this is the Razor's Edge. The Razor's Edge, it is kind of a remake of the third game, but done right. Now, the reasons why this game doesn't score as much as the first game and the second one, I believe it's probably because it was not its initial release, because some people are really satisfied with the game. For me, I wasn't really so keen about that. In my opinion, I don't like this first scenario. The combat feels much more action focused than the first game that feels more of a Souls-like game, honestly. And so for that same reason, I wasn't able to capture the same feeling as the first game and the second game. Because despite the second game, it starts to be more closer to free than the first one. The second game still retains some of the elements of the first game, and I don't really feel like that in this game. I'm kind of feeling it a little bit weird, alright? I'm not saying that the game it is worse than the second game or the first one. Some people probably will consider this third game the best one ever from the series, but for me it just feels too different, too action focused, and you know, it feels less focused into tactics, into a combat system, and feels more like a button mashing and a very fast combat as usual that Ninja Gaiden brings, and that's just about it. But that's just simply my opinion. As for the performance, we already discussed that. It is excellent, as you know. So, guys, thank you a lot for watching. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Yeah!